Welcome to another edition of Actors Take, coming to you from the Captain's Lounge Studios, located right here in beautiful uptown Longmont. We should be calling this show Actors Take, but we're not, for a very good reason. Even though I have got three actors with me, we are going to be talking about a show called Tony and Tina's Wedding that is opening October the 13th in Loveland. Before we get into the show, let's do some brief introductions. Rick.
I am Rick Padden, and I play Vinnie Black, the caterer.
Excellent. Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma Appleman, and I play Tina Vitale.
Nice. Jan.
I'm Jan Davison, and I play Maddie, the ex-stripper.
So, give us a little bit of an idea here. Where is the run actually taking place?
It'll be at the Rialto in Loveland, downtown Loveland on 4th Street, but it's actually not the theater space. It's in the Devereaux Room, which is a second floor, really ideal for a wedding reception type of space.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this actually is dinner theatre, isn't it?
Yes. So the audience is a part of the show, essentially.
Nice.
They are wedding guests. They get to dance with us. They get to eat with us. They get a drink with us. They can interact as much as they want, and we'll interact back.
Excellent. Excellent. Is that the whole show, or how's the show actually structured?
Well, the show begins as the guests or audience arrive, and they are seated as if they were real wedding guests.
Oh, wonderful.
The wedding ceremony takes place with a few little hitches here and there. They go through a receiving line, they go to the dining room, and then the reception begins, and well, anything can happen after that.
Then it's we're here for one purpose, and that's to celebrate.
It's not just the three of you. I believe it has a cast of about 22, 23 people.
That's
Yes.
right.
Pretty big cast.
Are you going to be quizzing the audience at the end to make sure they've been paying attention?
I think we should. That's a good idea.
Well, that's an interesting thing about it, too. Where do they pay attention? Because there are things happening in a lot of places. We try to keep their focus in the right place, but it's going to be interesting because some people will see a different show than the person next to them.
And that's always an interesting thing to discover, because everyone sees something different.
Especially with this show, and with it being 90% improv, and one person sitting at a table over there is going to see something different than someone across the room.
That's right.
They're going to hear something different. They're going to interact differently. So everyone's going to get a different show, and I hope they all like it.
Oh, they will. Talking of improv, have any of you ever done improv before?
Not in front of an audience, only in a class or for fun, not on stage, as it were.
Or in the boardroom?
Yes.
Yes. I haven't, but I am an actor, so I can act like I can improv.
How have you found the changeover? Because from acting, you have very specific things that you have to say at very specific points, whereas with this, you probably have a starting scenario, an ending scenario, and you just have to fill in the bit in the middle.
It's been a little bit challenging for me because as an actor, you're accustomed to learning your lines, learning your cue lines, so you know when to say your next line based on what the person before you said, and we don't have that here. We just have different scenarios that happen, and you kind of jump in when it feels right. So
that's interesting.
It's a little scary, but it's been fun.
Yeah, it's very scary.
So you could, in fact, just sit at the back drinking wine.
Well, I guess we could, but I don't think that's not our plan.
We could, but unfortunately, my part as the caterer and sort of running the show at the reception anyway, I don't say anything in particular important, but if I miss something, it's sort of directing the events a little bit, and it's going to mess things up.
Oh, so you're a bit like the captain then. You sort of steer the ship.
And I don't have any cues at all except people doing things. So I have no interaction really with anybody, no dialogue to respond to. So everything I do is pretty much speech related. So.
That's going to look good on your resume. Herding 22 other actors.
Which is no small task. Yeah.
Have you all had fun doing this? Because obviously it's such a big difference from what you're used to.
Oh, I love it. I love the character, and I love just being her. We've done a few marketing events where I go out as Tina, just like in the world, and I've really taken her and kind of given her life.
So am I sitting next to Emma or Tina now?
Right now you're sitting next to Emma. You'll know if it's Tina.
Give me a little bit of Tina.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tina Vitale. I don't know if you heard, but I'm getting married, and I would love all of you to come. It's going to be gorgeous. I planned everything out. I even did my own nails for it, so everything matches, and I hope to see you there.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun.
So yeah, that's just a little taste of Tina. If you want to see
Taste of
more,
Tina, that's nice.
she gets wild. She gets
That
wild.
was very nicely done.
Improv.
Yes, she's
And-
a
and-
lovely bride.
This all must take place where then? Long Island, New York, Bronx?
I think we all, as a cast, kind of decided on New Jersey.
No, New Jersey.
Yeah, so some of the characters probably like come from different East Coast parts, but right now in our lives, as the wedding happens, we're all living in New Jersey.
So you're all sopranos.
Well,
I think there's an allusion to that, especially with my father-in-law. But we don't talk about
okay.
Father-in-law to be.
it. To be.
Tony is my boyfriend, okay? I mean, we've known each other a long time. I work at the club with him.
And we all
Well,
wonder
you're not
what-
stripping.
Well,
Not anymore.
see, I don't do that anymore. I just help the young girls. I don't do that anymore,
She's the choreographer.
The madame.
so to speak.
What about you, Rick? Are you doing this sort of acting, accent, or?
Well, yeah, I'm doing.
Oh, you're really into it.
Yeah, Ginny
Yeah,
Black,
he's,
you know. Yeah, the Cadillac of Cadillus. Yeah.
Nice.
And kind of have fun with that. And he's kind of a, you know, he's a wannabe comedian, and so in addition to catering the event, he has to get up there and do his own stand-up. So I have never done that before, and that's
Right.
going to be a challenge. And it's improv, and it goes anywhere I want to go with it. It's going to depend on the crowd. Hopefully I'll be able to interact with some people, and hopefully there's a person that's old enough there for my old birthday jokes.
Oh, I'm sure.
Will you panic if a church group comes, or are your jokes clean enough to be all okay?
Oh no, it's all okay.
So it is a PG-13
Well, in fact,
show.
you know, well, hey, we're used to it. We were rehearsing in a church.
There's also kids there and, you know, Boy Scouts Monday nights. So we gotta keep it clean.
I've always said if God doesn't have a sense of humour, I'm in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts on the show and why people should come and see this show?
Well, if I weren't in it, I would want to come just because it's maybe your one chance to actually be part of a show when you're not really an actor. And that's what we're really hoping for, that the audience, that our guests will get up and dance, will take part in the ceremony as much as they can and as much as they want to.
Are you allowed to go and grab an audience member and dance with them?
Absolutely. We're planning on it.
Good, good.
Sure. No, it's all about fun. I mean, it's not. There's no deep meaning to the show. It doesn't really go any place in particular. But I think anybody who's ever been to a wedding can relate to it. Both families are a little dysfunctional, but it's the typical type thing that you see at a wedding. All the things that can go wrong do, and it's all about fun. I can't imagine anybody coming that they're not going to really talk about it in the parking lot afterwards. I think they're just going to have
I think
fun.
you might be surprised.
Yeah.
I think you might be very surprised.
I mean, it's the cheapest wedding you can go to, honestly.
Right.
That's right. You don't have to bring a gift.
Don't have to bring a gift,
Right.
just yourself.
You need an usher at the door saying, "Are you the family bride or groom?"
We plan that.
That's going to be
There-
interesting to see
yes,
what people say.
It will be.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
We mentioned it before. I would love the three of you to come back when the show has closed, and let's do an actor's take. And we'll talk about your experiences of doing the show, because this is a first for all of you, and I'd be really interested, how you all coped with it. But I think it's going to be absolutely dynamite. And, I must admit, a little bit of Nigel is sitting here going, I wish I had taken that part.
You'd be great
You
as
would have been
Vinny.
my father.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a good day.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming down today to talk about, what was it called again? Tony and Tina's wedding. Thank you for joining us for Colorado Opening Night, our very first edition. I'm your host, Nigel Aves. Thank you.